Attorney General Pam Bondi and the DOJ have officially announced that they are closing the Jeffrey Epstein investigation and that no additional documents or updates will be released. So what we'll take a look at is that Epstein did not work by himself and he was protected, and that this was an orchestrated cover-up throughout this whole entire thing, and this is a part of it. And by the end of the video, you'll realize that this was a network and that it's still alive. This is a video of President Donald Trump on the campaign trail promising to release the Epstein files. Let's take a look.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
And what I want you to take away from this clip is the hesitation after the introduction of the Epstein files. All the other ones, he just said, oh yeah, we'll release those. After Epstein, oh, there's a lot of phony stuff in there. We don't know. But now let's take a look at all of the people involved and let's see what they said before getting involved in this administration and after getting involved in this administration. We'll start off with the director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
You know, it's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing? Oh,
I saw you
give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but if you release the names, right? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? You're going to accept Dick Durbin's word or whoever that guy is as to who is on that list and who isn't, and that it can and can't be released? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are. We have an election coming up, and we need to adjudicate this matter at the polls. God knows the FBI and DOJ aren't going to do anything. But how are you going to reward the FBI with a new headquarters building after their illegal surveillance on Donald Trump continues with a reauthorization of FISA, and we can't even get basic documents out? This is why America hates Congress. And this is why I'm tired of the Republican majority saying they're going to get the job done and failing.
Now we're in the same exact position that he was in, where we're demanding the truth come out and he's somehow suppressing it. And what I want you guys to take away from this clip again is that look how enthusiastic he was. Look how impassionate he was about this. He really believed in what he was saying. And then now take a look at this clip right here where he's being intentionally deceptive.
Can you say you've seen anything?
No, that's the point, that there's nothing in there. Like in the video, you guys will be bored.
You're talking about the video of the murder or the suicide.
The suicide.
But what about the video from the island?
Oh, sorry. So you're talking about two different things. So
sorry.
So again, we're going to give you everything we can, and people have to remember, we're not going to re-victimize women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening, because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine. Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it, period.
Right.
If I have it.
Wait a minute. So he just said, we're not going to release any of this information because we don't want to re-victimize the people. But in the same breath, he also says, oh yeah, if I had a video, don't you guys think you would see it? Well, that's directly contradictory. You said you wouldn't release it to victimize the people, and now you're saying we would see it. Which is it, man?
So
where else would it be?
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far is
Have you guys gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
Right.
And
is there video from the island?
not of what you want. The people out there have filled the void with can't wait to see X, Y, or Z.
Right, speculation.
And I'm like, here's the other thing I've been asking for, right? Openly. If you have information on this, call us. Tell us. The best resource we have is the American people in the world.
Right.
Get me the tail numbers. Get me the flight, get me new information, and I will run that down.
So this narrative might not be accurate, that there's video of these guys doing this.
Exactly.
Is it possible that the video was taken and destroyed?
Well, you're talking about, what, decades worth of stuff, right? Remember, we have what we have pursuant to lawful search warrants and authorities from the case that was done however many years ago it was done. That's what we have. If other people have other stuff and they want to give it to us, bring it.
What is this guy talking about? We put you in place to do the investigation. Now you're asking us for information? What is this guy talking about? You were put in this position to get us all of the information. That's what the American people asked for. Now, suddenly we don't have information. If you guys got some, you guys, regular people, can do better investigations than the FBI. Send us something. How absolutely ridiculous. Now, let's get into Pam Bondi and take a look at what she was saying before and after.
Yeah, I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
Okay, so all of the documents are on her desk. Wow, we're finally getting somewhere. Let's keep going.
James Comer said yesterday that all the Epstein files are missing. Can you confirm the status of them? They still haven't heard from you.
No, the FBI, they're reviewing. There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement.
All right, so we got hundreds of victims and tens of thousands of videos. There must be some clients. By having hundreds of victims and thousands of videos, that means there's definitely clients. Now let's see what she's saying.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
So now she's saying that Epstein self-deleted, there's no victims, there's no clients, and that this is all just going away. What? How do we get from hundreds of victims and thousands of videos to all of this just being swept under the rug? Let's take a look at Dan Bongino and what he was saying before and after.
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it, outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
You can't make this up. You really cannot make this up. He was saying we need to get to the bottom of this, and then all of a sudden, when he gets into office, oh man, yeah, Epstein self-deleted. There's really nothing to see. There's nothing to see, folks. Do you see how everybody who gets into this administration and is looking into this case gets compromised? Press secretary, she was asked about this, and I also want you guys to notice as well, she always wears a cross during these press conferences, but now on the one day where she's talking about Epstein, she somehow decided not to wear it. Could be a coincidence, could be intentional, but let's take a look.
Sure. Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. They promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
What a crazy pivot. Oh, you want the Epstein list? Let's start talking about how we're decreasing murder rates over here. Nobody asked for that. Can you address the topic at hand? We're trying to get the Epstein client list here. What I want you guys to realize, and the takeaway from this, is all of these people work for Trump. So the orders are coming from the top down. They're just little surrogates who are just out here, little agents who are working on the Trump's behalf. Let's take a look at what Trump himself said.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If
Hey, could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
No, Trump, this is absolutely ridiculous levels of gaslighting here for you to be trying to say, why do you guys care about the Epstein list? This is like exactly how they pivot and say, why are you so obsessed with Israel as soon as you start calling out what's going on? It's like, why are you noticing facts and patterns is essentially what Donald Trump is saying. But the American people elected him to give us the Epstein client list and to hold those in charge or or those on that list accountable. And now all of a sudden he's trying to just say, why are you so obsessed with Epstein and why are you talking about him after all of this? And then on top of that, what makes it even worse is he's standing on the graves of these people who just died in this flood and saying, why are you mentioning this when this is going on? Well, you guys intentionally decided to close this case one day prior to this. So don't try to blame us for having questions when you guys announced this. Then we've got people like Ben Shapiro here, obviously a foreign agent, talking about, oh, this was the official verdict, so now all of this should go away. Let's take a look at this.
We now have the answers. And the problem is this. People who never hedged their bets, people who never at any point suggested to you that they don't have data to back up the speculation, that the speculation was in and of itself the conclusion that if you speculate without evidence, that amounts to an actual conclusion to an investigation, they're going to be very upset today because it turns out that the DOJ and the FBI have concluded that Epstein didn't have a client list and died by suicide, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. Now, again, does this put to bed like all inquiries? Of course not. People can continue to speculate as much as they want. And I think there's still open questions here regarding how did Epstein make his money? Right, that's a very serious open question. And the speculation for a long time was he made his money from blackmail. But the DOJ and the FBI, again, run by people like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are telling you, I'm not telling you, they're telling you, people who are members of the Trump administration, people you elected and put into these positions to get you the truth on this matter, are telling you that he didn't, in fact, he was not murdered, he did not keep a client list, and he did not blackmail powerful figures. Okay, right? That is the thing that they are saying, not I, they are saying this. If you're willing to throw that over and claim they're lying, then I'd like to see you present your evidence that they are in fact lying, because I know Dan. I don't think that Dan Bongino is lying to me. I know Kash Patel a little bit. I don't think Kash Patel is lying to me. I don't think these people are lying to me, which means that if somebody else continues to claim that they're lying, they ought to provide their evidence at this point. And now is the point at which the facts on the ground have changed. And so either you ought to shift your opinion based on the facts that have now emerged, or you ought to acknowledge that this was never a fact-based inquiry in the first place.
All right there, Ben. I've got all of the facts for you here. This video right here is the entire response. We've got the before, we've got the after. We've got all of these people demanding the Epstein list, and then we've got the videos of them afterwards, essentially trying to deny, cover up, and just make this all go away. We've got the evidence right here for you, Ben. And what I find ridiculous about all of this is the fact that all of the Israel apologists, all of the compromised people, all of the people who are just falling over themselves head over heels for Israel happen to just want to sweep this away. They have something to gain from it. The American people have nothing to gain from it, and that's why they're demanding accountability. So all of the people on Israel's side, because we know Epstein was a Mossad operative. This was a Mossad blackmail ring. That's what we know. Those are the facts. You cannot dispute this. All of the people on the Israel side want this to go away. All of the Americans want to see those people held responsible. So they're just going to try to pretend like we're the ones who somehow have a problem. We're somehow these obsessed, deranged people, even though Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Trump were all put into position to hold these people accountable. Now they're going to try to act like we're the problem. Nope, we're not the problem. We're not going to be gaslit into having this go away. Nobody believes in this. And shame on Trump for even attempting to try to do something like this. At the end of the day, now we know where you stand. Now we know that you guys are protecting predators. Now we know that you guys might be part of that even list. Nobody's buying this. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. Do you guys agree with this? Do you guys agree with my assessment? And also subscribe and hit the notification bell, because you guys know for sure if the Epstein list got covered up, you know this video is getting highly, highly suppressed. So I'd appreciate your help. Support your boy. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It's your boy Scope. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.